Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the show. We are talking about should you license your trainings and courses to other coaches and your competition. As a matter of fact, in this episode, in this video, we are unpacking the strategy about how to actually turn your competition into your clients. It's a game changer, and I'm so glad that you are here. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and like this video. And if you are listening to this episode, I'm so glad that you're here. It is episode number 323. Let me validate this with my notes. Yep, we're at 323, you guys. And I just appreciate you listening here on the Sweet Life Entrepreneur podcast for the last 7 years. We've been cranking out proven business and trainings, proven business strategies and trainings that you guys can take to the bank. And this series that we've been doing is all about content licensing. First of all, if you aren't familiar with what content licensing is, go back and listen to episode number 320. These are short, power-packed episodes that are highly valuable, delivered to you in a short period of time, where you're going to walk away with your mind absolutely blown about how you can scale your consulting business, coaching, speaking, writing business through content licensing. So today, first of all, I want to share a tool. If you want to learn more about content licensing for free, you can cruise over to licensing-tools.com and you can watch a free video all about content licensing, even case studies about how I've licensed my content and how our clients license their content, so you can get your wheels spinning. So definitely go tap into that as well. So I want to talk about how to turn in your competition into your clients. This seems like really catchy when I do an Instagram or a LinkedIn post about this. I just get so many clicks because ooh, that sounds so great. It does sound great, right? But let's talk about the strategy of this and who this is for. So this is for those of you guys who are established consultants, coaches, subject matter experts, speakers, or authors. And you have trainings, you have programs, you have content, systems, methods, or frameworks that are your intellectual property. You own them. And this content has gotten your clients results in the past. So you're good at what you do. Last week's episode, we talked about who is actually qualified to license. So if you're wondering that, go back and listen to the previous episode here. But you have this content and you're thinking about delivering it in a licensing format, meaning you're going to allow other companies to distribute your content or include your content in their trainings or their programs. And the strategy here, really the question that I want to help you address is, should you actually license to your competition? So to answer that, I want to take you through a scenario here, and then I'm going to share with you a story about how I did this in the past to help you even think more about it. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, do I want to sell this myself still? And it doesn't even have to be no. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the first thing is, with this, we'll call it a course for the sake of this strategy here. With this course, do I want to keep selling this through my own business as, that one of our programs, one of our products? If you do, that's great. We'll talk about that pathway in a second. If you don't, let's say it's a training that you're not even using anymore. You guys are probably sitting on so many trainings, courses, and programs. You're either not marketing, it's not part of your future growth of your business. They're collecting dust on shelves, even if they aren't even built out yet. Like, how many notebooks full of training programs have you created? So if you don't want to sell it anymore, your business is moving in a new direction, then this is like slam dunk. Imagine what allowing other consultants or coaches in your space would look like to actually deliver your program and include your program in what they deliver to their clients. Imagine what that would do for you. If you are no longer selling it, it doesn't matter anymore. It's not the future of your business. It's not what you want to be known for anymore. One of the fastest ways to grow your network, to build amazing, mutually beneficial relationships, frankly, to build an entire network, which I'll share with you about how I did this years ago, of coaches and consultants in the exact same niche, in the exact same space, where you're the head of that group, That's what we're talking about here. Imagine what that could do for your business and how you could actually scale your business by allowing your competition to license your trainings, courses, processes, systems, or methods. If that sounds good to you, sounds good to me. I did it. Sounds good to a lot of our clients. They're doing it. So let me tell you a story about that, and then we'll go to the other side of it for those of you guys that still want to sell it, and we'll workshop how to do that. So how I did this, let's flash back years ago, almost 20 years ago. I feel like I'm aging myself here, especially in the coaching and consulting space. I'm like, I've been doing this forever. I am one of the creators of the parent coaching industry. Okay, you guys would never know that. I know. We could do a whole nother show on how we keep building and reinventing ourselves. So back in the day, I helped create the baby planning, maternity concierge industry, wrote the scope of practice for it and all this stuff. However, prior to that, I was a business strategist and coach. So I was a business coach for years, all the way back into the 90s. And then I had what usually happens to us. Then I had 3 babies, and I realized there needed to be a coach for new parents, and that everybody was just giving me their opinion and not giving me just facts, and it made me mad. So I created an entire industry called the baby planning industry. And in the process, I opened up the first fully comprehensive maternity consulting firm in the world. And it was great. You know, I was making money, I was coaching new parents, but I'll be real honest with you guys. You know, I developed courses and trainings and programs. I am not a parent coach. Like the way I parent, if you guys follow me on Instagram, it's usually totally rogue compared to the way most people parent. And I actually hated coaching other parents. I'm a business strategist. I'm a business coach. So I had this short stint, and instantly I realized, oh my gosh, I've done this. This is so great, but I have all these trainings and programs and courses, and I don't want to do this anymore. And of course, other parent coaches, because then the industry was growing. We have baby planners and parent coaches like all over the world now. They were coming to me for business coaching. And that's what I wanted to do, because frankly, that's what I'm good at. And I wanted to consult them from a business strategy to help them build their business like I had created my first company. Anyway, long story short, I realized that they would have been my competition, but instead what was right for me was I wanted to turn them into my clients. And so I licensed them everything, you guys. I licensed them all of my courses, all of my processes, all of my worksheets. It was an entire business in a box. They had a parent coaching business in a box. And imagine what that did for my sales. Okay, so instead of me delivering courses and services to parents, which I really didn't want to do, I was, been there, done that. That was not who I'm made to be. Yes, I was very proud of the foundation of that industry and literally creating an entire coaching industry from scratch. Very proud of that. But that had nothing to do with other parents. That was business strategy. That was my jam. And I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. And at the time, because the industry was so new, I really wasn't making a ton of money coaching parents. But my company was very well known, right? So the money was in the going B2B, not B2C. And I knew that. And so I turned those people who, thank heavens, they were coming to me for help, but I turned what would have been my competition into my clients by literally licensing them all of the processes in the content that I had so that they could grow their business faster, serve their clients better, and make more money. And in the process, what did I get to do? Made more money, increased my free time, went back to business strategy and consulting. As a matter of fact, what I did is I actually made so much money doing this that I was able, and I'm just going to share this because I want you guys to be thinking about the potential of what you can do. I was able to form a nonprofit. I'm also an environmental nonprofit founder, which again, you probably would never know unless you're listening to this show. But I share that with you because it made me so much money that I was able to work a little bit in business strategy, license all my stuff, and go form a nonprofit and work with, companies like the Environmental Working Group, in Surfrider Foundation, in all these like cool environmental ocean saving groups that, I totally geeked out on. I got to work with people like Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, the actor, wrote an article on me and the work that we were doing in our nonprofit. And our nonprofit was founded by Patagonia, right? Or was funded by Patagonia. So I share this with you because this is the power of what licensing can do. And all I did was create great content, and I turned my competition into my clients, and I gave them everything that I had. And it was the best thing I ever did, not only for me, but for them too. And frankly, I was really interested in growing the parent coaching industry, and I knew my services, processes, systems, and content could also help do that on a global scale. And so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking things that you've already done. If you don't want to do them anymore, it can be just one course, or you can license out your whole business like I did and grow your reach exponentially, make more money, and free up your time. So that's bucket number one. That's if you don't want to do it anymore. That's a slam dunk. If that is you, I would love to help you do what I did, what I help many of our clients do. Hit me up over at sweetlifeco.com. I will help you do exactly what I did. So now let's talk about the other side of it. Let's say you either still want to sell it or you're not really sure. You're not really sure if you want to give it away yet. You don't want to make that final decision. Totally fine. Here's what I want you to think about. If you are going to still sell it yourself, don't license it to your direct competition. Instead, license it to other companies that have the same end user as you. So if you are a public speaking coach, you're not going to license your training to another public speaking coach, but you could license it to, let's say, a publishing house who needs their authors to know how to be confident public speakers. You could license it to a PR firm that needs their people they're representing to show up confidently on TV. Think about who else, what other businesses serve the same clients that can benefit, that your content can actually augment their current content and elevate their current content. License it to them, not your direct competition. And if you do want to license it, so I'm going to give you just a part 3. And by the way, many of our clients do this. They kind of sit in this space for a couple of years while they're ready to actually, kind of retire some of their own content and fully allow other companies to distribute it. And then number 3 is, if you do want to keep it yourself and you want to license it directly to your competition, don't give them the exact same thing. I want you to keep the gold standard for yourself, because I want you to be that end all be all. You're going to charge more for it because, let's be honest, even with licensing, nobody can replace you. We're trying to duplicate you as best as we can. We're taking your IP, your genius, your processes, allowing other companies to distribute it, but nobody's you. You're the best. You came up with it. It's your genius. So if you want to license it to competition, but keep it yourself, make sure you're charging more, make sure you keep the best of the content, and then maybe you take some pieces of it and allow other companies that are your competition to actually take pieces of it, not the whole shebang. So let's recap what we talked about here. We're talking about how to turn your competition into your clients through licensing. Number 1, and I shared with you the story about how I did this way back in 2008, where I took my entire business, all my trainings and programs, and allowed other coaches to utilize it. You don't have to give them all that. You can give them just one whole course. I don't care. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. I really hated parent coaching, you guys. It just was not me. Okay. So I knew I wanted to get rid of the whole thing, right? I couldn't wait to get back to business strategy and consulting. So yeah, you have to really know if you're going to give away and license your whole business, right? So whether it's just one course or a couple of processes or a couple of trainings, if you're not going to use it anymore, awesome. That's way number one. That I'm so excited for those of you who are ready for that yet. But if you're not ready for that, it's totally cool. We can get you started here at way number two, where you license out your trainings, your processes, not to your direct competition, but to other businesses that serve the same clients. That's option number two. And then option number three, if you do want to keep it yourself, we're not going to give them all of it. We can give them pieces of it, parts of it to include in their offers, your direct competition in their offers. Am I the only one excited about this when I talk about this? I feel like sometimes I'm sitting here in my office recording. My boys are in their rooms and my dogs are out back, and I'm sitting here so excited all by myself, because I know what this can do for you guys. My goal is to open up the world of content licensing for you so that you can get to do what I got to do, that you can actually choose your own adventure of your life because you're making money off content you've already created. That's what I want you to be able to do. And that's what we coach our clients to do. If you would like strategy consulting, if you would like to access our entire licensing project plan, every single thing from, even if you don't have an idea of what you want to license yet, even if you're not sure, by the way, that's a big part of what we help our clients figure out is your strategy. Don't wait to ask for help for your strategy. My job is to help you navigate all the options and pick the best strategy. That's what we do with our clients. Don't wait for the strategy. I'll be doing another episode on the problems of waiting for a strategy, and you can certainly subscribe and tap into those other episodes. But please don't, because that's a mistake, and you could move forward and make a mistake that you can't take back. All right. It's been a pleasure connecting with you here today. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me just be honest, we're really trying to grow our YouTube channel. I haven't really tried hard before, but we are now. So if you could please subscribe to this, I would really appreciate it, and even share this episode with your friends. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, thank you so much for being a listener of this show. We really appreciate it. All of our licensing resources can be found by visiting sweetlifeco.com, including Kickstart trainings and free videos that I would love for you to dive into. All right. It's been fun hanging out. I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.